Hey, what's happening, Spider Friends? Today is all about the research missions. Using the advanced suit, because, I don't know, reasons.
Because research is like an event.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, it's research time! Yay!
Research time! Research time!
So, we installed energy-saving LED billboards all around this area. This station monitors how they're performing. I'm just hoping it saves enough money that Oscorp keeps this program going.
Typical. Oscorp ignored the specs and jacked up the voltage going into the billboards. If I don't fix it, they'll explode. People could get hurt. And it would definitely be the end of this station. I need to use my electric webs to shock the screens into shutting down. And I don't have long to do it.
Okay, so this is the first of many research missions where you need to use Spider-Man's webbing to do something. So, slow down bullet time, shoot with your web.
Maybe someday there'll be a billboard of me.
Why are we shooting billboard
It doesn't
thingies?
say menace on it.
Didn't you hear what Harry said? You're basically short-circuiting. So, if he doesn't do something, they could explode or cause a lot of money for Oscorp, and Harry's research lab could be shut down or something. Also, it's just an excuse to come down to Times Square. Though, this Times Square is less bright than the original.
Yeah.
Someone should really bring back sign painting.
Sign painting was so cool. Like, when was the last time sign painting was really used in New York City? Probably 30 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's all
35?
digital now.
It's been digital since 2005, I think. Alright. Just a couple more.
Oh, someone
I
still
always knew someday they'd weaponize tackiness.
has to do all that graphic art still.
I really wish Mary Jane was on one of these billboards. 'Cause
Oh, that would be so cute.
Explosions would make these ads more interesting.
especially since she's, like, you know, a big-time reporter on the Daily Bugle, it'd be a nice nod.
Now that the threat's passed, they can adjust the billboards properly. And they did save a lot of money, which seems to be Oscorp's priority, so I bet this station's in the clear.
Huzzah! Okay, that was
Huzzah!
reboot Times Square. Hooray.
Hooray!
So today's goal is to pretty much get as many research places done as possible. And we're going to be going in order of, like, the different districts, because
Okay.
there's so many of them nearby.
See, that girl, like, who's the model, she could have been Mary Jane if Mary Jane was still a model.
They went with the Mary Jane reporter route from Ultimate Spider-Man, which,
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, I prefer the other one, but they want to go the lowest lane route. I mean, whatevs.
Because models have more fun.
Personally, journalists aren't really... In my day, a lot of journalists had convictions and they weren't, like, fake news and all this other stuff. Nowadays, like, all the stuff with the news is not what it was 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's all...
Even 15 years ago.
It's like people putting their personal opinions into the news, and...
Yeah, it's more opinion-based than it is fact.
It's like clickbait for ratings. Fearmonger.
Like what Blockers did. Hey, look! More pigeons!
Yay, pigeons!
Okay, Pete. This lab has feeders to lure in birds and analyze their droppings. Yeah, that's right. I got an MBA to test bird poop. Seriously though, you probably know that birds carry diseases that affect people, and we need to make sure they're healthy. You know, I really wish I was there to hear your finest toilet humor on this one.
Why would the...
Oh, the pigeons are infected with a serious strain of avian flu. And it's already mutated to a form that can spread to humans. Okay, Harry's lab had everything I needed to make a vaccine. Gotta spread it fast, or the pigeons will be like rats with the bubonic plague. My best bet's dispersing it at 3 major migration points. Luckily, the station told me where they are.
That's a real
First migration point's in a park.
disease.
Birds there should spread the vaccine to their buddies.
What? What disease?
Bird flu.
Yeah, but
Pigeons put up with me swinging through their territory, so I owe them a favor.
how much would the pigeons really affect
The
humans?
Avengers never have bird poop missions.
Yeah, no they don't.
He only mentions the Avengers a couple times in this game.
Yeah, I just feel like birds wouldn't really affect humans that much. Like, how often? Well, maybe in New York City they would, but I don't see birds very much. course, they could just leave their stuff all over the place even when humans aren't around, but...
Here we go.
There's a lot of pigeons in New York City.
Airborne, so I'll just spray it into the trees.
So remember that fun spraying stuff? Well, now you get to do it in a populated area.
But what if it gets on humans? Like, wouldn't that affect them?
I believe he says something that it's non-toxic to humans, because this does look like he's spreading chemtrails.
Yeah, it looks like he's a bioterrorist.
Because look at all the stuff.
It looks like he's like some kind of crazy
Okay, 1 down, 2 to go.
super villain
Adidas spider.
using a biological weapon.
Yep.
The spray won't bother people or other animals. It'll cure the pigeons. Or trigger the zombie pigeon apocalypse. The spray won't bother people or other animals, but it'll cure the pigeons. Or trigger the
Or
zombie
he
pigeon
says,
mean?
or it could trigger the zombie apocalypse. Right.
Let's hope it doesn't trigger the apocalypse.
Yeah, that'd be kind of bad.
There's 1 more left.
All right, so now
I like the music
I
right
wonder
now.
what
It's
Jameson
pretty
will make
cool.
of this. Spider-Man spreads chemtrails. Seems like a good bet. I like helping animals. They don't call me a menace or shoot at me or anything. I wonder if it'd be stretching things if I added veterinarian to my resume.
might be stretching things if you added veterinarian to your resume. All right, so basically we just have to follow the little blue line thing and go to where the next park is, more or less. Okay. So the pigeons hang out at all the parks. And you just have to find where they are, and that's pretty much... Oops. Try not to do too much structural damage, but there's no fall damage in this game at all. Like, you would think people would be more upset that Spidey is breaking things when he lands, but they really don't mention anything.
Well, maybe JJ would mention something.
He never does, actually. He only... Oops.
Okay, that should work fast. I better scan some
Only a
pigeons to make
couple
sure.
times does JJ even mention anything about your side quests.
I just thought that pigeons always carry diseases. That's why people just stay away from them. I just thought there are diseases everywhere. Like, you can't really help getting diseases all over you. That's why you wash your hands every day.
That did it. No zombie pigeons.
So long, zombie pigeons. Giant squirrel!
It's just a regular sized squirrel.
It's a cute squirrel. Hey, how you doing?
I said it was giant.
Huh. Nikola Tesla fed pigeons here. So did
Think of the
Harry's
lady
mom.
standing on the trash.
I remember her
Yep.
bringing us. Wish I could tell Harry,
It's pretty
but
weird.
he's not answering calls.
Actually,
texts,
this is all
There's a
kind
guy
of
standing
freaking
on the
out.
car.
Yeah.
Please don't ask
Strike
me
a
to
pose. Nobody want to interact with the spider.
Nobody cares.
Nope.
Nobody cares. You're
Nobody
not
even notices that
famous.
person just standing on top of the car either.
I wonder if Spider-Man existed in real life, if he would be super famous or if people would hardly notice him at all. Because people hardly even notice good news when it happens.
I think he would be like a D-list celebrity, probably.
Yeah, because you ever notice, like, people do heroic things all the time, but they never report it on the news ever. They always report the negative stuff.
All right, time to do something fun.
I gotta shut this down
Aha!
before they free their friends. I'm touched by your devotion to
This
your
is good
friends.
times.
I'll see to it you end up
So,
in the same cell block.
I believe after you, like, beat all the prisoners up, though, they disappear. Then it's just back to thug crimes and demons and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no end to the demons or the thugs, but the prisoners and the Sable agents,
Yeah.
they tend to disappear.
There's an end to them, because then once you put all the prisoners back in prison, they can't get out again.
Oh, and if you guys are wondering what power I'm using, it's the Unrelenting Fury from the Last Stand Spider lore that I did a while ago. It's actually one of my favorite power-ups now because it makes Spider-Man incredibly strong. And if you want to get through combat much faster, then it gives you some options. That way it doesn't take that long to hit bad guys because Spidey pulls his punches so he doesn't kill people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, he does. Otherwise, he would totally destroy people.
I'll get you.
Don't worry,
Spidey!
we'll save you.
Save that guy!
Hang on,
Yay, you saved him.
gotta get this guy too.
Come on, Spidey.
Okay, he should probably be a little bit further away from that explosion.
I
But
know, he was like 2 feet away. No, it was like more like 7, but still.
You're safe now. But you
really should get checked by a doctor.
How is he gonna get to a doctor? He can't even...
I know. Alright, time for another research mission.
I feel like those demon people
Whoop.
wouldn't keep coming back though, because you can't keep shipping them from China, like, indefinitely. I mean, like, I thought they found their facilities and stuff. The crates that were shipping them over were taken over. Like, there's no way that they can keep coming over unless they're coming from neighboring towns. It doesn't make any sense.
It's the same logic that applies in Arkham Knight and Arkham City. You just never end up and run out of people to beat up.
It's weird.
It's a video game.
Yeah, it is a video game.
Alright, what's today's research thingy? Oh, yay! Fish spreading veterinarian stuff.
This is one of my labs that monitors water quality. Any nasty stuff gets in, it tells you. I wanted to check on it myself, but there's just never enough time.
Feels like Harry's not telling me something.
Yeah, why is he running out of
hope he's
time,
okay.
Terry?
We already know Harry's sick.
Oh.
That algae's already killing fish. And if I don't stop it, it'll work its way up the food chain fast. I whipped up a virus that'll attack it in Harry's lab. But I need a sample of the algae to make it work. Gotta get
These
to the
side
lake
missions
instead.
are not self-aware, so they don't contain story spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Even after you complete the story, they're its own type of thing. Should really be extra content, but you have to do it to 100% everything.
Got it.
I'm walking on
Now I need to
water!
crack the cell walls.
Yeah,
The only way I can do that in
exactly.
time is with G-force. The quick and dirty way to apply G-force is jump off a tall building. And the tallest one around
Okay,
is
so-
Osborn. I wish I could do this in a lab, but there's
Shut
no
up, Spidey.
time.
So this research one, it's a variant of where Spider-Man couldn't use his webs because he was making some type of... well, in that one case, he was making a thing that would eat trash or something. This
Yeah.
one, he's making something that's going to cure fish and algae. So what we have to do is climb to the very top of the building and then swing out!
Whoa.
Got it! Now I just have to do it again.
Okay, so the easiest way to do it is usually jump off like a really tall building like the Chrysler building or the Oscorp building, and you have to do it like 2 to 3 more
nervous, I
times,
guess.
something like that.
When you're spraying stuff into the air? Or,
don't
but how is that
know,
affecting
actually.
the fish, though? I can't understand.
I wouldn't worry about
I'm
it.
so confused. But, I mean...
Plane! Probably took off from LaGuardia or JFK. Alright, so now we go to the very top of this, and we want to dive down and then swing out at the last second before we become Spider Pizza. Oops! Already messed up.
Luke.
No, I messed up. We accidentally activated our spider power.
Oops. You're
Yeah.
glowing. You're
I
glowing.
am glowing. But that building definitely did the trick. That's how high we need to be.
Yeah.
Not low enough.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff. Like he's saying with the food chain, it's weird that, like, a disease in one population of animals will affect the whole population of animals that eat them, and...
I think actually this one is just for algae, but I could be wrong. Alright, let's try this again. Wait for it, and swing!
Good job!
Now if I can just keep throwing up. Gotta hurry back to the lake and
Okay.
turn this loose.
Actually, it looks like they patched this because before I had to do it like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they were like, you know what, this is kind of dumb, so we're just going to limit how many times Spider-Man has to do it.
Yeah.
There. And it's tailored to the toxic algae. Won't hurt normal plant life. Which is good, because a park without plants is just a vacant lot.
Plus, it would be...
New parking lot.
Yeah. Plus, who knows what it would do to people if it was eating through plants.
Yeah. He's not going to interact with me. Nobody is.
It looks like a nice park.
It does. Okay, so how many more of these do we have left? The check mark means we finished them. See, 4 or 5 maybe? Let's go here. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna go there. Subway travel.
Yay. As long as we don't get hit by a train. Oh, we're on the train, that's good.
You only, like, hang out on the train when you're wanted.
Ah.
And this is the end of the game, so everything kind of just goes back, except for the different Sable
It's
outposts.
pretty chill. Yeah.
I love doing that! Oh, wait. Here we go. Next place. Beep, 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 beep. That's my little sound effect.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Sound effect is awesome.
Shaking Harlem! Oh, that's right, this quest. Ground pounding.
Harlem Shake.
Hey, Pete, do you remember that steam pipe explosion when we were kids? Well, that's what Mom built this station to prevent. It monitors the pressure in the pipes and pinpoints trouble spots.
There's a dangerous pressure buildup happening now. I've got to do something about it fast. Oscorp's satellites take seismic images of what's under the streets. If I hit the ground hard enough in the right spots, they can show me the high pressure points. Pressure like this usually means clogged release valves. Once I find them, I should be able to jar the clogs loose with another ground pound. Got my lenses tuned to the research station. High pressure will show up red, normal is blue.
Wouldn't that cause
Okay,
the
move.
ground to explode if it was already under pressure?
I've got to drop onto the street hard to generate enough
I
force.
don't think this would work.
In the next game, Spider-Man becomes mayor of New York City. So basically, I never used this ability in the game, but it's a ground pound. Think of it like Mario. So...
Wouldn't that be dangerous?
Yahoo!
If the ground is already under
Oops,
pressure.
I didn't do it right. Square and... Yahoo! There we go. So, it creates a seismic thing so I can see in my spider goggles where I'm supposed to go to the red places.
So you're agitating an area that's already in, like...
Yep.
Found a trouble spot.
But how would that measure it? Wouldn't that just cause problems?
I don't know.
Alright, apparently Spider-Man has things in his suit that defy the laws of reality.
It's a video game.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking about,
Here we go. Ground
oh, it
pound.
doesn't matter. Oh, stay away from that
That's not the only danger zone.
area.
I need to locate the other
Hopefully no
pressure
one
point.
gets burnt by that
the
steam.
ground
Oh,
somewhere
you
else
just
for
ran
a
through it.
I ran through it with no
I don't have
problems.
much time.
So now we have to go to where the other steam point is. Also, the car alarm should be going off.
Is that steam or is it natural gas? What is coming out of there? What's pressurizing it?
If Osborn
Listen to the
was actually
dialogue.
using Harry's station, he'd have found the problem before it got this bad. Of course, if there is an explosion,
It
we'll blame
doesn't
it on
say
Harry.
what.
If it's an explosion, then it has to be gas. So,
Yeah.
or steam or something.
Probably gas if it's flammable or whatever. If it's steam, it would just be water. Of course, it could make it like rupture the ground and stuff if it was just.
The problem that I have with this and the lack of attention to detail, any type of little seismic quake that New York City gets, which is very rare, it still sets off all the car alarms. So,
Oh yeah, it would set off all the car alarms, but it's not.
no.
Wait.
This is another feature the game kind of fails at because it's not paying attention to detail. And there have been other Marvel games where a character has made seismic activity happen around cars and stuff like that, and all the car alarms go off.
Yeah.
I'm talking mobile games.
Yeah.
Fixed
But-
it. But we're not out
Let
of
me
the
tell
woods
you,
yet.
New York City has a lot of people driving fancy cars. And all of them have car alarms.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, they have a lot of detail in this game.
All they would just have to do is add the sound effect, though. It's not hard.
Maybe they could do a special patch for that.
There's the spot.
They won't.
Sound effect patch. I don't know, Luke. I feel like if I was the maker of this game, I would feel like, hey, I did a pretty good job. I didn't get the car alarm thing, but maybe next time. 9 out of 10. Or 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Exactly.
The more I keep playing it, it's definitely an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
It's very good for a first outing. But the wall crawling is messed up.
Yeah.
The glitches are way too constant.
I was just thinking about how, like... Well, it doesn't really matter,
Especially, we're almost 2 to 3 weeks after the game came out. Sonic Boom!
but... Oh, I'll tell you later.
Always helps to take the pressure off. Wish it was that easy.
Let
for
off
life
some
in general.
steam.
Harry's station prevented a major explosion. They can't justify closing it down now.
Right.
day's
Okay,
work.
you were saying?
Oh, nothing. I just... It doesn't matter.
Got a report
Just like, you know, like how they keep, you know, coming up with new chemicals to spray in the air and stuff. Well, you know how you always hear about fish and stuff washing on shore and all this stuff now? Well, like, yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about how Peter said one thing could affect everything else. And actually our friend Swag was talking about this like years ago, about how if the bees were gone from our world, then we would be in real trouble. And actually the bee population is disappearing because of all the not because the bees are being sprayed with chemicals, but because the plants are being sprayed with chemicals. I just thought that was interesting. I heard that they're actually trying to start in India. They're trying to raise more bees to try to get the bee population up again. It doesn't really matter. My thing that I was going to talk about didn't really matter.
JJ.
Okay.
Folks, I have received unsettling reports of Spider-Man in our public parks, where children play, apparently stalking pigeons. Yes, wild pigeons. You may wonder if he's gone insane. A perfectly valid question. But have you heard of the Goliath bird-eating spider? I'll spare you the gory details, but it's a spider big enough to devour birds. Now, Spider-Man sticks to walls like a spider. He jumps like a spider. What else does he do like a spider?
Oh my gosh.
Eats pigeons.
He did mention the pigeons. That's funny.
But he didn't mention, the spraying of water and other stuff.
I know.
Armed robbery in progress. Report came in from
He's
Douglas.
talking about when I was picking up pigeons for Howard.
Pete, my mom was a big believer in the city's steam heating. It's better for the environment than fossil fuels, but high pressure can lead to deadly explosions. This station was designed to monitor the pressure in specific buildings. Help me show Oscorp it's worth the cost. Please.
Harry's really invested in preserving his mother's legacy. And who can blame him? There's been a sharp rise in the pressure in some nearby buildings. The problem seems to be caused by faulty regulators. I've got to break them off before the pressure gets too high. And the building explodes.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
The city will replace the regulators I break. There's no time to do this.
It's time to cause property damage!
Yay.
Yeah, pretty much. So, remember that
Luckily,
web
the
thing we did
regulators are on the
before?
exterior. A well-placed
Time to
web
slow
shot
down
should
time
take 'em
and
out.
use our web shooter.
What do you bet Jameson's gonna lead his show
Yeah.
tomorrow with a Spider-Man vandalizes buildings?
It does look like you're vandalizing the building, though.
Yep, it does. You're literally ripping the
think of any
building
of 'em.
apart.
Just takes one to cause
Yeah.
a blast. My spider
Just
shit.
saying.
Everyone's safe. I better get out of here before someone asks me
Oh,
to
you
pay
just
for all
caused
this.
a lot of property damage there,
Yeah.
my little web friend. Alright, so let's avoid more of Harry's craziness and do a fun quest. This is the one I was talking to you guys about a few days ago, which I don't remember what episode that was, but this is another cool spider ability that Petey gets that he can only use in this level. It's really cool and it would add a whole nother dimension to the gameplay, but for whatever reason, like the spider bots, they don't want you to use it. It's just like, here's something that we could implement in a future game, but we're not going to. See, the thing that I loved about a lot of other superhero games, especially Arkham, when you get a gadget, you can use it whenever you want. You can implement it throughout the game. In Spider-Man, this game specifically, you get a cool gadget, you can use it once,
Yeah.
and never again. And they make up some type of lame reason why you can't use it.
Stealth mode was fun, but it's not worth losing my webs over. Hopefully, Oscorp will figure out armed drones in Manhattan are not a good idea. But I'm not holding my breath. Now they've got the data they need. And the stealth tech is promising, even if it needs work. I think Harry's station is safe. And if they ever work the bugs out, maybe I'll whip myself up a stealth.
And he's talking about the future, but yeah.
That's cool.
Well, that does it for a majority of the research stuff. We have very few left now. And, yeah, I mean, we're on our way to getting the Underoos Spidey suit.